Thank you for joining Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. This is a show that focuses on the arts and the art as God-given talent. We strongly believe that you are your passion. And today we have a returning guest, Mr. Donald Thompson. You guys remember him from the past, from Inspire School, and a lot of wonderful things. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, Renee. Very good.
It's good. It's good to see you again.
It's great seeing you as well.
So we've been bumping into each other a few times.
Yes, we have.
So at the mall, when I'm out there, I see you here and there, and I'm doing your exercises and coming up to your school, and I'm bothering your school, trying to get different things. You guys have been so good to Andre Renee Wright's Publishing Company. So
Well, we are pleased to do it.
appreciate it. So we want to recap so people remember who you are. So what started your drive, your passion into this musical journey?
For years, I have been involved in music. I recall when I was a middle school student, and my mom would take me to the doctor's office, and they used to call it elevator music. And a piano piece would come on, and I would just begin playing on the desk or the chair. And she noticed my interest in that, and it all started there.
Right.
And the rest is history.
In the 7th grade, I was at Thompson, and I was beaten on the desk.
Okay.
And the college administrator, not the college, I'm sorry, the junior high school administrator said, I think he wants to go to the band, and I know what he wants to play. And I was like, Mom, can I play the drums? And so for me, it was the 7th grade. How old was you?
Oh, 7th grade, what is that?
Oh,
14, 13, I'm
13,
not really
12,
sure.
12, 13,
Yeah, 12 or 13, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I began playing for the Sunday school at Van Buren Baptist Church. Yeah, $2.50 a week.
They paid you for it.
For one hand playing Jesus Love Me.
That's wonderful. So that's when the passion began.
Yes, and it has continued since then.
Right.
I currently do 3 music ministries a Sunday, one with a parish in Hammond, and then St. John Lutheran in Gary, and then Van Buren Baptist at 11 o'clock.
Yes, I've seen a picture of you over there. Yes, so a wonderful thing. Now, Aspire School Corporation, I want to reiterate the promise that they told you or they gave you about not removing the music from the schools.
Yes, and that is one of the reasons why I have been so committed. I'm moving into my 7th year with Aspire Charter Academy in Gary.
Yes.
Where Principal Renee Robinson is our chief administrator there. And the board of directors, who is headed by now the daughter of our former founder, Mr. Comer, who passed away. His daughter, Denise Dillard, is our president.
Yes, indeed.
And one of the things that I've experienced with Aspire Charter Academy, they have placed 1,000% support behind visual and performing arts. We run a visual and performing arts program for about 100 students who are interested in doing more than general music during the week. There's dance, there's instrumental, there's theater, there is technical theater. And this board, the board of directors of Aspire Charter Academy, funds 1,000% of this program for students.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, if they were to pay for these services outside of the school, private studios would charge about $90 a month for 30 minutes a week. They get 3 hours a week in these particular disciplines. So the students who attend and are participating, if we were to put a dollar figure to it, basically they're getting $1,500 scholarships to have this experience on the weekend at the school.
That's a wonderful thing. 2 things I want to point out. I sat at you guys' board meeting one time.
Yes.
And it's very involved, very powerful. The teachers, the administrations, the school board, I was blown away. You guys are very involved, very dedicated to our youth. And as a children's book author and having children on the forefront of my mind, their well-being, I was well impressed, very impressed. And when I sat down with Ms. Hobbs and sat down with Dr. Renee, I want to call it Doctor, the principal. Yeah, so we're going to call it Doctor for the second.
We're going to call her Dr. Renee Robinson.
Indeed.
Put it in the air.
Indeed. And so she was very involved. And when I had the opportunity to meet her, it was a wonderful thing. I'm very impressed by the school. Very impressed.
Thank you very much.
Also with Dr. Robinson, Renee Robinson, the principal. So Principal Robinson, I love her door. Have you seen it recently?
I think I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you know what's on the door?
Well, don't have me do an assessment right now. Okay?
My book.
Is that
the
your
book?
book?
Yes.
I know it's
yes,
a book, but I
yes.
didn't know it was your book.
Yes, I
Okay.
did. You see, the school had a contest for the best door.
Okay.
And she chose a bullying thing.
Ah, yes, I do recall. I didn't realize that it was your book, but
Indeed.
yes, it's nice.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I was pleased to see it. Very involved again. This is Bullying Awareness Month. So stop bullying people. So we have a backdrop of who you are, refreshing the people. Let's talk about this holiday show you guys got coming up.
The board of directors and our administrator, Principal Robinson, they required that the Visual and Performing Arts Academy that meets every Saturday put on a performance for the fall and one for the spring.
Yes.
Of each school year. So we are going to do the holiday show, Scrooge, in Bethlehem.
Okay.
And we've been in rehearsal, learning the songs, the dialogues, and monologues. And that will take place on December 15th,
Okay.
Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
And what's the address?
The address is 4900 West 15th Avenue. That's in Gary, Indiana,
Indeed.
46404.
So you said Donald Trump would be there? Is that what you said?
No, he will not be
You
there.
said Scrooge, right?
Sc-
Thank you so much. Yes.
You walked me into
I
that
sure
one.
did, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm going to hold my peace.
There you go. Thank God for being a Christian, religious. We love God show. So we won't talk about our president. But when you said Scrooge, it was fitting.
I see.
It was just
I
fitting.
see.
So but I do respect the office of the president, no matter who's there. I have to be honest there because, being former military and grew up in ROTC, we just believe that no matter what, chain of command is the chain of command.
Yes.
And if you want to change things, you vote. And that's what we did.
I'll come back on another show to have that discussion.
Right. So, indeed. And, tag me when you upload it.
Okay.
And so, is it now for the spring? What show will be
The spring that we're going to be doing is Sister Act 2 for the spring.
To sing it and do?
There are two versions. The version we're going to do is the one with the students in school, okay? And that will be the first weekend in June of 2019. Once again, it's 10 a.m. on that first Saturday in June to 2019.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, what are the ages of the students that's participating?
For the productions in the fall as well as the spring, the production is open to all students from K through 8.
Okay.
So, and when we present our productions, we always put a disclaimer on the program saying an adaptation of Scrooge in Bethlehem, an adaptation of Sister Act 2, because we want to involve as many youth of the school.
Indeed.
For example, when we did Annie, and we also billed it as an adaptation of the musical, Broadway musical Annie, it was called Orphans.
Okay.
So all of most of the students that were in Annie were female.
Okay.
So they all had twin brothers in our show.
Okay. That's wonderful. When we come back, we want to talk about your band room itself. It's a treat that people don't realize what you have there. These commercial breaks are brought to you by Andre Renee, Spiritually Spoken. Go to your streaming sites and stream Andre Renee, Spiritually Spoken. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome back to Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. We are here with Mr. Donald Thompson from Aspire Charter Academy, one of our best schools in Gary's. Obviously, I'm going to give it a thumbs up because they support us. We love what they do. We love the school board. We love the teachers. We love the principal. We love Ms. Hobbs, Officer Hobbs.
Oh, yes.
Don't play with Ms. Hobbs.
Don't play with Ms. Hobbs.
And so we're glad to have you back, Mr. Thompson. And we want to talk. The few times that I've been at your school, I noticed that when I come into your room, there's a few teachers just lounging around, because I think your band room is better than any teacher's lounge, period.
Well, it's. I guess you could. We do learn instruments there, but it's called the ACA Music Education Room.
Okay.
And it is in many ways, it serves as a gathering for different meetings. We've held PTA meetings in there. We've held our board of directors meeting, but it functions for the majority of the school as the music room for grades K through 8 in that regard. And one of the concepts that we have placed in the music room is that we want the students to feel invited and give them sort of a feeling that, hey, this is your place.
Yes.
You know, own it, take care of it. Of course, we invite our parents, and we have a Starbucks of our own in the room.
Indeed, I've been there.
And 2 reclining chairs so that when parents want to come and observe the students or the teaching instruction, they can sit comfortably and not in any way, you know, interrupt the curriculum of instruction in that regard. So we've brought in, each year we kind of changed the decor. This, for the last 2 years, we have leopard trees, silk trees, and they are adorned with what we call secondary lighting. Because sometimes when the students come in from all day, you know, to kind of give a secondary lighting, gives them a more relaxed and a more, you know, feeling of, hey, look, no stress.
Indeed.
You know, in that regard. So it has worked very well, and we're very glad that our administrators and our board of directors allowed the teachers to bring their own persona into the rooms to encourage the students. One of the responses that we get with the music room when students first come in, and their first responses or comments is, oh, is this our music room? And I say, yes, we've created the best for you, so we want the best from you in return.
Indeed. Readers are leaders, right? That's your slogan.
That's readers are leaders.
Readers are leaders.
That's right.
If you ever flown in coach, which most of us probably have, no doubt, on a regular basis, that's not your room. You are definitely first class. Remember the Concorde plane from that transcontinental from America?
Oh, yes.
That's your room.
Oh, well,
it's laid out. It's laid out. I saw this room. I said, these children are getting the best. It shows just how much you guys are invested in our future, and that's huge for me. Because again, I want to see our children succeed. I want to give them something better than what we have, and we want to commend you for doing that. We are excited. So we want to talk about the reading, writing, math through the lens of music education. Have at that.
Well, thank you. Many of our parents, students, and even administrators, before coming to Aspire and other schools that I've worked in, they have not viewed cross-curriculum and interdisciplinary instruction as a foundation of teaching through the lens of music education. And what that is at Aspire Charter Academy, when we talk about social studies, well, our social studies class in music education is learning about the evolution of music from the Middle Ages to the Renaissance, to the Baroque, to the Classical, to the Romantic, to the 21st century and beyond. Because they're studying the history of music. So social studies is nothing more than history.
Indeed.
His story. And they also learn about the composers, as they learn in social studies about key figures who, in terms of developing the Constitution or other parts of that discussion. So in terms of the science, right now, the science of music that we teach through the lens of music education, students are right now, they are selecting 4 instruments in each of the 4 families. Brass family, string family, percussion family, and the woodwind. And their task is to recognize those instruments through sound and also understand the construction that goes into the instrument, which creates that scientific direction of producing sound. So that's become their science of music education. When we go to math,
before we go to math,
sure.
All grade levels are exposed to this.
The K1-2 has a different curriculum, but what we're speaking of now at various levels is introduced to grades 3 through 8.
Okay.
Okay, 3 through 8. Then we go into math, and many of our students, when they've gotten to the music class, they have heard of orders of operation,
okay,
which is the methodology of math in that particular studying. So what we do is we take a time signature of 444 and create algebraic formulas with whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes.
Ah.
So once they know the value of those notes in that particular time signature, then they do the math just as they would in parentheses first,
yes,
orders of operation.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is huge. It's first of its kind?
I don't know whether it's first of its kind, but this is the program that I've been teaching for the past 15 years.
Wow. So, Mr. Horn, I love you. You was a wonderful band teacher. Dr. Lawson, you as well, but we didn't have the technical stuff. I was a drummer, and I read music, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, wow, our children are really learning.
The other thing that, for the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students, we review musical theater. And in reviewing musical theaters, let's say Annie, or West Side Story, or Mary Poppins, or the Sounds of Music, they study the social, economic, political, and constitutional perspectives that are perceived and presented through the lens of musical theater. For example, we know that Annie was about orphans.
Right, indeed.
You know, during the 1930s, when we had the Depression, okay, and a lot of children, you know, after the war, people lost a lot of things in that, you know, in their monies and their homes and things of that nature, you know, and then there came about the New Deal,
right,
you know, under President Roosevelt. So we have the musical theater, but they're learning how all of this evolved,
right,
and how that social issue moved into an economic issue, the New Deal.
Indeed.
And then from there, the political, not the elected officials, but the opinions of people,
yes,
which guides and drives constitutional law.
So you have history, poli-science, the whole nine yards.
Yes.
This is incredible. This is incredible. I wish we had went in more detail in the very beginning. I didn't know how in-depth this was. We're going to take one more commercial break. These commercial breaks are brought to you by St. Augustine Episcopal Church of Gary, Indiana. Be right back. And you are back with Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. I am Andre Renee, and I'm with Mr. Donald Thompson from Aspire Charter Academies.
That's correct. It is an affiliate of National Heritage Academies. They have 88 schools nationwide.
Indeed.
We are one of those.
Right.
And the other one is in Indianapolis, A.J. Brown.
Indeed. Let's have a recap of that wonderful, the reading, the writing, the math through the lens of music education. So let me take this back. He's not a band teacher. He's, wow, it's just hard to describe what it is.
I'm just a music educator.
There we go. Let's do that.
I'm just a
Let's
music
do that.
educator.
Give us a recap.
Yeah. One of the other, I think, fascinating programs that we have introduced to Aspire this year is Google Class Learning.
Okay.
And we had an e-learning day where the students did not come to school, but they were at school through their computers and their Chromebooks and their, you know, all of their electronic equipment. They had to plug in for attendance and do homework assignments as were given by all of the teachers, including Encore teachers.
Okay.
And this is this new electronic way of learning. You know, when we were in college, it was called Blackboard.
Okay, right,
You know,
right, it was,
yeah,
right,
and
right.
so now
right.
it's called Google Class
Right.
Learning. And as I've told the principal and my dean, I'm absolutely rejuvenated that I don't have to grade papers. I can just go
Right.
to the
Right.
computer. And,
Right.
and the other thing that is so great about it, when students comment, you know, I can comment directly with that particular student and answer that particular student's
Right.
concern.
Privately.
Right,
Indeed.
absolutely.
You don't miss the red pen?
No, I don't miss the red pen at all.
We don't either. And I use a red pen for certain things. So let's jump into what's very important, real big for you.
Right now, we are the only school of the 88 school that offers a study abroad program.
That's it. That's the one.
And it's called London Education Abroad Project.
Right.
I, as its president and CEO, travels around the states making presentations. I'll be going to Dayton, Ohio to one of the NHA schools and some other schools. And we encourage, this is our program that we call Growing Citizenship.
Yes.
Through global awareness.
Indeed.
In that regard. And so the first program will take place July 13th through the 28th of 2019. We still have some spots open for persons that would be interested, and they can go to our website, www.leapintolondon.org, or if they want more information, our email is londonabroad1924@gmail.com. Beautiful. And we ask that they leave their name, their contact number, and any questions that they may have, and we'll get back to them. But we are traveling all over the United States in terms of presenting this as a program creating world citizenship through this study abroad program in London, England. We've already begun registrations for 2020 in that regard. Our plans for 2021 is that London will operate as our hub. So we'll spend 1 week there, and then we will determine whether we'll go to Ghana or in other continents from London in that respect. Right now, we are looking for international students to be a part of this. In the next 6 or 8 months, as President and CEO of the organization, I will be doing a presentation in the Philippines, Ghana, and Taiwan.
Will you have exchange students coming over here?
That's exactly what we're looking for the 2020 to do.
Indeed, indeed. That's wonderful. You mentioned the last time you were here that London itself has 250
cultures.
Wow.
Yeah. And we invite you to go to the website because it gives the entire itinerary. And one other thing before we go, we have educators and administrators who can't take the full 2 weeks. So we have a 1 week program of the 2 week, and a 2 week program for the high school, college students, and post-high school.
Website again?
www.leapintolondon.org.
And the email?
Email is londonabroad1924@gmail.com.
We still have a few more seconds left. Give me one of your most memorable thoughts overseas in London that involved a child and the wildness of it, meaning, while I'm here.
I am really impressed with the educational system. We have young, I was riding, the double-decker bus to an appointment one day, and I saw these primary grade students on their scooters with blazers, heading to school, and there were some on the bus, and they were having this conversation about their lesson for today. And these were like second graders and third graders. It was just, I'm just absolutely enthralled by what I see when I travel abroad.
Mr. Thompson, we thank you for having us.
Thank you, sir.
Man, appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Very enlightening, very impressed by you. Hey guys, we have this segment called What Would Jesus Do? And I'm just going to repeat what happened last week. What would Jesus do? The question Jesus would ask, why America, why? You know what I'm coming from. You know what we're doing. You know all the things that's going on in America. How can we turn this ship around? How can we end the violence? I tell you, prayer. Pray, people. We always have to pray. Pray for me as I pray for you, and pray for a stranger. Just call out a name, a random name, and pray. We love you. God bless you. Every Sunday, 6:30, Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. God bless you.